Oh my God, did I just talk for that whole time? I just talked that whole time. Literally that whole time. That whole freaking time. I'm not doing it again. I can't do it again. I can't do it again. Of course I do that. It's because the only thing on my mic that tells me if it is on or off is just the light. Like there, I have a tiny red light, like literally maybe a millimeter, and it just blinks. Blinks very, very subtly. Not like blink, 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 blink. It's like blink, blink, blink. So that's my bad. But pretty much what I was saying, just to give you the gist of it, is this right here. We're running into the resistance. This is very easy to see. We need to get above that in order to really see that thing get... Actually, if you get above this level, you have potential for some kind of short squeeze with these signals that we're seeing. The 2 hour able to curl up. We'll see if that has some more life left in it. And then we'll have to see if that's going to find some form of weakness and then rotate back down. Okay, so we have to, I think if we're able to get up to this level, this is where I'll really be paying attention. Maybe looking at a weekly range for next week. I'm glad you are here. Anyway. Yeah, still, what I was overall getting at was, you know, we don't see people getting overzealous to the call side. We could probably see some profit taking at the end of the day or something like that. So we'll see the shorter time frames here. The main thing we'll pay attention to is if this 30-minute is actually rolling down. I want you to notice it is pointing up in positive territory. So if it ends that way, that's pretty much it telling you the most likely option is still upside, but a lot can happen overnight. I understand if anyone wants to mitigate risk at any point. I already took profit on one position, so I'm overall profitable on this upward move, and then I can hold some stuff for the long run. Some of the ones I'm looking at here, Tesla, still looking at this one now, not looking like the best build-up in the world, but you can kind of see the little micro going on here. Ooh, left head. Maybe we get up here, get that right shoulder. We'll see what's going on there, but the main thing is the 2 hour able to curl up. Now, it's very negative. You don't have the best divergence here. It's really, really not there. But in the nearest price action, you do have a little one right there, so... This can't produce a bounce. Maybe we get up to this zone and maybe we have to collect ourselves and go back down for a double dip with some kind of actual divergence here. But the reason that I'm overall saying we could squeeze is because of Nvidia. If we go look at Nvidia, we have a triple divergence, very, very freaking significant here, very significant. When you see these, you have a high probability of turning up on a daily chart. So we can see some good moves. Now you have to get through key areas to see that start to squeeze. But you this really can curl up daily charts. And so if this daily is going to curl up, well, that could mean, what are we seeing? Well, are we going to see more upside in the future? I think this is going to see some kind of move before earnings, and then we'll see what happens with those numbers. That way, I'm really hoping that the push happens before earnings, so that way I can like see this thing bounce up, get up to here, bounce up, get up to here, and then before earnings we just see, oh, some 2 hour divergence or something like that, and then I can be not even playing this at that point. So I would like not to have a position in Nvidia for earnings, that's for sure. But Nvidia not able to get fully, I would say fully up to the resistance point just yet. We'll see if that's able to happen soon. Computer sign language. Divergence. How's everyone's trades looking today? You guys having a good time? Having a good day? I went to the gym early because baby girl is going to go with Abuela for a little bit after I'm done streaming today. She's going to go with Abuela, so we're going to hang out. Me and wife are going to hang out, and then I'm going to come back here at around 6 o'clock my time, so maybe if you're East Coast, 7 o'clock, whatever. But about 3 hours after the close, that's when I'm going to start making my video. So the video might come out a little bit late tonight, but 6:45, 7 o'clock, I might be able to get that uploaded by then. Baby girl's got bath time, and Luke's got work time. That's how we're doing it tonight. So we can hang out, go shoot a little bit, have some fun. VIX started to drop off here again. Down 11% now. Now that does mean that we have potential for a down day in the next 2 trading sessions, but does that mean that that has to be a dramatic down day? No, it actually can be some kind of day where you say go to lower levels. Maybe you do this, then you break down, and then you come back up by the end of the day. Something like that can happen. It's more so if we start to break through some key things here. You can kind of see this here. If we start to do that, that's when I'd be a little bit worried, but this can just be an indecision day, a consolidation day, and then we can see what happens going on throughout the rest of August into next week. We'll see. But for now, that signal on Nvidia is really convincing me, hey, we could see some kind of short squeeze. The other thing that's convinced me is people are still really towards that put side, really towards the put side here. We only really got down to the call side like for a brief moment, right back up to the put side. So dollar's starting to drop off now, crossed over. So this move does make sense overall. How's Bitcoin doing? Did anyone check on that? Bitcoin almost to that 60K mark. Pretty crazy. Yeah, almost to the 60K mark. Nice. You know, I think I'll get rid of this line right here. I don't think this is the most important. I actually think this zone is the most important, so I'm going to leave that there. God, can I scroll? Thank you. So for the SPY, seeing that 2-hour curl up, we just got to see if we can break through some resistance here. So I'm just going to leave it here on the SPY for a little bit while I read some chat. BTC having a hard time trying to break 60K. Yeah, it's having a hard time even testing it, it looks like, but there's no voice. Connie's message there. It sounds so freaky. You guys, there's no voice. Sounds freaky. All right, let's just click through some 30-minute charts here. Apple, that did curl up, but doesn't that look like, oh gosh, that price is getting so tight in here. If we just look at this, this is kind of nutty. How close to get, oh my goodness, that thing is tight. You're getting price tighter, okay? So that means, hey, big, medium, small, smallest, and then something big happens. So this is kind of leaning towards, actually, I know what the chart looks like down here on the MACD, but as of this moment right now, the stock is, the MACD is positive in positive territory. So this is saying like, hey, I'm in a little mini positive trend right here, but if I cross over, that'd be bad. So that is something I would pay attention to if this can roll over, but you might just see a crazy move tomorrow based on these signals. So hard to tell which way that's going to go. As of right now, 2 hours says, hey, we're bouncing, and guess what? We're bouncing. That's fine. So as of right now, you have 30-minute positive and positive territory, 2 hour, looking like it's trying to at least get some kind of sturdy bounce here. Same thing can be said for Tesla overall, just getting some kind of bounce here with some weakening in momentum. So I would say a longer, further bounce to get to a resistance zone is more likely here. 30-minute is going positive in positive territory, but it's not like Apple. It's not like really up in there. Now, the one thing here, though, you had was divergence down here. So you had divergence at the same point for the 30-minute. 2 hour didn't look very pretty, so we won't really call that one too good of divergence. We will just say that this looks like, hey, this could have enough steam to get to this. It's finally going positive. It's finally crossing the center line on the RSI. It's getting above all the moving averages. If that remains, this doesn't cross over, Tesla could be a good option there. As far as Amazon goes, it's saying, hey, I'm trying to go into a positive trend here. So we've run into this resistance a few times. Looks like some kind of maybe a cup with a handle here. Let's see if we can break that to the upside. If we roll over, though, you guys have to know both sides. That can start to tear down. Starting to see a little bit of upside there. As far as Nvidia goes, this is fantastic. You still need to take out this to really confirm a new high, then go make that higher low, then go up for the higher high. So that's really what I'm paying attention to here, just seeing if we can take this level out, kind of confirm this divergence down here as some sort of double bottom, and then we actually see that go to the upside. That would be fantastic for Nvidia. Best part about Nvidia, you had 2 hour triple divergence behind it as well, so you do have a higher probability to turn up that daily chart, which means daily swing trade might be on the table soon. Before the earnings. That would be interesting. AMD finally seeing some strength here with all the wonkiness in the 2 hour. Yeah, it's building up over time. I still didn't like taking a trade with this, so I didn't. AMD just seems to keep suffering, and I don't even like this price action. Of course, you're going to have little divergences in here and stuff, but it's trying to go positive. It can see some kind of move, especially if Nvidia, if there's just good things all around. But for now, I just don't really like the look of AMD at this moment. It's just too complicated. It seems too difficult. Like, right, if the trade seems like, oh, I'm going to really have to pay attention to this, it's really going to stress me out, I'm like, I'll just look at a different stock. Nvidia looks cleaner. As far as it goes for Meta here, we do see this downward action here, okay? We do have a downward action here. We have slightly up between this point over here. So right here, you can say something is going on. Now we're gonna test that level, we'll see if we can break through. Maybe in some way we're cup and handling, right? But overall, I just wanna say, this had torn down for a little while. Has the hourly turned back up? Yes, it has. Has the 2 hour turned back up? Yes, it has. So positive and positive territory. Overall, good with the earnings, all right? And then we see that flush down, but still that earnings is going to be in people's mind. It can catch, you know, this can cause people to get a bunch of puts, so short squeeze here is possible. Microsoft, this one just not looking the greatest at this moment for the 2 hour, just experiencing some kind of bounce. Now on the 30-minute, we just noticed down here, you had a curl up really close to the center line, so it's trying to build up. It's trying to go back into a positive trend, but it's really struggling. Microsoft seems to be struggling a lot here. That's all I can really say about it. That curls down bad things. This curls down bad things. Rejection here for the higher low. Now we need to probably break through this level. I think we really want to break through this. Maybe go up into this area. You see this area here for Google. That would be a great move, right? That would be a great move. And then you kind of get some liquidity in there and boom, left head, right shoulder. I would really like that setup there. Looking forward into Netflix. Netflix actually had a good curl up here and then it turned back up on the 30 minutes. So positivity came, awesome. Now, are we maybe doing some kind of cup and handle here? I mean, now we're not going to an area where I'd really like to see some strength to get there, but you're pretty much going with this wick here. So we'll pay attention to it. Overall, I believe it was the 2 hour signal down here that crossed up, and guess what? It's trying to go positive, so it is seeing something a little bit crazy. See if you're able to turn up the daily scale here for Netflix. Looking at that, that just looks like, hey, positive bar. You have the RSI approaching the center line, not crossed yet, so maybe you need a little bit more steam behind it, but the price action is confirming. The MACD and RSI are waiting behind just a little bit. Do I think the SPY has a bottom? I think this has way more potential to go higher than yesterday. That's how I'm going to word it. A lot of people out there, a lot of people on Twitter saying the same thing as yesterday is what's going on. Well, the same thing as yesterday is not going on. Something completely different is happening here. Here, the put-call ratio was everyone had calls. And the dollar was, you know, going up like a little bit more while the stock market was going up. And we were out of our 68% zone. Here, we're out of our 68% zone. You see it, use it as support, use it as support, use it as support 3 times. And then we get a little break to the upside. Now we have to break above this high, but the key thing here is you're out of this, so you still have that 68% down. But when this move started and we started to base out, kind of consolidate here, we actually saw that dollar start to go down, which tells us that the buying here could be a little more real. And the put-call ratio here was everyone has puts, so why would the market maker want to pay out all those people? No, they want to just hold it higher, see if they can convince you maybe to get calls, but since that didn't work, hey, now you have the potential for a short squeeze if you get above this level. So do I think that this is the bottom? I would say these are signals you will see at a bottom, but we're still kind of flagging, so I'm not 100% confident. If we could, you know, take these lows right here, I'm just going to attach these for a moment, right? We're going to go like this. We're not going to include that other low. We're going to clone this. We're going to see actually, I probably like that angle more now that I think about it, but we'll do this for now. It's more just like we still look like we're kind of in some kind of consolidation. I want to see a break of that consolidation. I want to see a strong move up like that. I want to see a strong move down like this. It seems controlled, and that's why I don't like it just yet. I need to see a break in one direction to really see. And if we're reading into what the market maker wants and what's happening for the week, we already tested the downside. So now it would make sense to base out and head to the upside as those 2 hours are curling up. And the market maker does not want to pay out all those people right now. So I assume they leave it at these levels, maybe even gap it higher in the morning if they wanted to. If you're closing at this level, you need to break through key levels in here. Well, you could just gap up. That would be interesting, right? But we'll see. Friday, I think you have a good opportunity for Friday that if we close in this area, you're going to see some kind of drop off like this and people will be convinced the market's going down again and then we just turn right back up. We'll look for a daily expected move or something like that. Will Hustler make the closing stream? That's always the question, isn't it? Yeah, so the 2 hours curled up. So most of the time, if you're trying to manage a trade closely in an environment like this, if you're doing it based on the 2 hour chart, right? We say, okay, this was able to curl up. So now my trade is based on the 2 hour chart. Then I just want to say, okay, maybe I want to make sure that there's no weakness in a shorter chart that tells me, hey, maybe the timing's a little bit off. Maybe this is going to go down to here and then curl back up, and you'll buy it in the same area, but your timing will be better and you won't have to lose any theta, any time, right? You won't have to lose any value because of time here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I would really like us just to pile up, keep piling up here at the end of the day, maybe see a little flush with a wick, and then we gap higher in the morning, just gap above this level. That would be fantastic, because I really wanted this to touch this level and then start to pull down, because now that you're at lower level, you do still have potential to roll and go negative. So this could be bad if you roll. That's why we need to manage the trade maybe, or at least take some off the table if I'm still confident in it. But me, myself, I do have a longer out expiration, so I'm most likely going to hold this still, right? Hold this still. I actually did not add to it because another trade of mine did so well that I just took profit on it and said, I'll just let the other ones run. So for Nvidia right now, I'm not going to do it. But if this dropped off like this, tomorrow went to a daily expected move, and we see like a little tiny triple divergence or something like that, well, I guess it already has pretty much triple divergence down here. But if it made another divergence point right here, I would most likely be scaling into the move again if I see that happen. And then I can take that full position. It really does look like the volatility is basing out a little bit. It looks like it could be turning up on a 30-minute, but I don't want to read into it until that actually curls up. Thank you. I don't want to convince myself it has to turn up. I just want to see if it turns up and then react. That's what I want to do. Now, something I could pay attention to. Does anyone know about news that's happening after the market closes? Does anyone know about earnings that's happening after the market closes? You can pay attention to those type of things. But I already took profit. I made 115% on an IWM play. I just took a small swing trade up for IWM, saw a 2% move pretty quick. That one, a little bit risky on that one, but I just wanted to make sure to make money in this move, so I just added that position for like a week out. Took profit on it pretty quickly. Simple little trade I put in last night, and then today I benefit from it. Now I can let those other ones run pretty comfortably with cash back in my account, bigger cash load in my account now. So, but yeah, I don't want to convince myself this is going up, because this will happen all the time. What I want to see is what's actually going on. Well, people are really buying puts. The dollar is starting to come down a little bit here. Has it curled up on a daily scale? Not just yet, okay? Not just yet. It might need to go make a stronger base. So maybe this needs a 4-hour divergence. Maybe we're just going to see a push for a few days, and then we get PPI on Tuesday, right? Something like that can happen, and the dollar dramatically starts to go up, and then we see people really get overzealous to the call side for a bigger short squeeze, right? Maybe we actually do curl up on this 4-hour. We get up to a weekly range early on in the week next week. Maybe we just go boom like that, and then all of a sudden things start to turn down. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking at, and that's something I have to take into consideration. And maybe that means if I make plenty of money in my trades, if we do see some upside, what I can do is I can sell one of those trades, make the money if we get up to these areas or something like that, and then I can leave the other one in case we do squeeze. But also if I see reversal signal in here, then I can go, okay, I need to pay attention to that, maybe take a hedge to my current call position. Just depends on how much money they're worth, in my opinion. Tomorrow is for sure going to be a gap in one way or the other. VIX holding above 20, indicating there are a ton of options with larger than normal spreads. It smells like a gap. Yeah, it seems like we're probably going to gap either way. But a lot of the time, like you'll see the end of the day, people will take this and see like maybe it's just profit taking or something like that. And then they'll see this cross. So just be careful if this does cross, because that could lead to a gap down, right? We could have more work to do here, right? Make a 2-hour little divergence here. That can happen. Go test this level again. But for the most part, I just want to take it for what it's worth. And on the 30-minute, what am I seeing? Well, we're going into a positive trend. I have a low. I have a higher low. And now we're testing the point where we need to break through to confirm that pretty much positive trend. Yeah, when you see volatility is higher, you will see more gaps and things like that, gap fills, and then it becomes a confusing market. That's why you really want to focus on some stocks that have some clear signals. Then you want to play those signals pretty quickly. Then you want to say, okay, did I make enough money in this trade, in this environment? And maybe, you know, like I'm doing, hold a couple in case there's a squeeze. What do we get tomorrow? I don't think we get much data or anything tomorrow. No, we get pretty much nothing tomorrow. So PPI will be next. That's supposed to come down. That could be seen as good news. But the core inflation rate month over month is supposed to tick up. Core inflation rate year over year is supposed to be pretty much even. The inflation rate month over month is supposed to tick up as well. Inflation rate year over year is supposed to stay about even. So CPI can actually mess up the market just a tiny bit there. And then the next day we have retail sales, which is forecasted to come down by 0.1%, negative 0.1. So that would mean that the overall thing here is if the core inflation rate does tick up month over month, that means inflation has increased. Core inflation rate remains 3.3, then that has stayed the same. And if retail sales goes down, it might mean they're still going to hold higher for longer. Because you still have inflation high, retail sales coming down, that's probably something they want to see. But all of this could be seen as good news. And then we have FOMC minutes on August 21st, the day before my birthday. We get some FOMC minutes. So that's when we'll really find out some stuff. But that is in 2 weeks, so 2 Thursdays. Yeah. So you got a while till that comes, August 21st. Let me keep some charts up on the other side of things. Mara, it's seeing a 10% move. Where was the one I wanted to watch? I think I want to keep Nvidia over here. Let's look at the Qs for a moment. Actually, let's look at the Dow. Dow not crossing just yet. Qs might be pretty important here. I think by the end of the day, if we get one more wick to kind of test this area again, I think that would be nice. I may just relax. Do you go to shorter time frames? Not usually. Usually no. Unless I'm confirmed in a bear market. If I'm confirmed in a bear market, then I'll look for like triple divergences on 5 minutes sometimes if I'm worried and I really want to look at microstructure for the best position because maybe the pricing of the option seems a little funky, like too expensive or something, then I want a really good position. I'll look in and find a little 5-minute triple divergence or something really close to the center line as the 30-minute is like just about to cross. I'll look for those things, but that's when we're in a bear market. This is just a corrective move, down almost exactly, what, 10%? Let me bake you a cake and mail it to me? That'd be sick. I'm kind of thinking about saying yes. Because we like to eat sweets at night. We watch our shows when Ari's sleeping. And that's when we have our treat time. We try not to eat too many, but your boy can down some donuts, man. I don't know what it is, but donuts make me go nuts. I'm just telling you. I'm guessing those are call positions first of all. Ah, freaking A, I clicked on the wrong thing. I just got to see it for myself to clarify. Give me 2 seconds here. All right. Whoa! Well, that's a lot of calls. It's a lot of calls in an environment where the PCC is pretty high. So if they wanted to, you know, not pay that out, my Nvidia call is at 105, by the way. So my Nvidia call is right where we're at right now, pretty much. So I'm one of those little 105 guys, but 115, that is a big wall. So that could mean something. Maybe with the daily expected moves, what we could see is some kind of like, you know, higher up expected move. Maybe I would say towards like a 113 level. Something like that would make sense. And then we see a reaction to 115 and we break down, back down below it to get that pullback until we see if that's able to scoop back up. Right, but 115, it looks like you just have a lot of calls there, so I would expect that to be some kind of call wall where people could see some profit taking. Now, if you get above that, you get above 115, holy crap, you might be off to the races. That's kind of why I took the profit in one of my trades, just to make sure I make money, and if something crazy happens, I have them, right? I have it. But if you get above 115, I'm sorry, what? Ron Walker is still saying the SPY is going to test the 200-day moving average on the daily near 5K, unlike the SPX. I'm not seeing those signals by any means. I'm not seeing them, but the way that that could play out if he's maybe just talking a little bit too early is if you do get the 2 hour to need to come back down, get some kind of divergence, right? So if we kind of don't see the strongest move here, we just kind of trickle up like this. We go like this, and then we have to curl back down, create that divergence point. That is where you can see a big drop with maybe a wick, and then you see a big 2 hour divergence down here. So that's the only way I see that happening. A lot of the time, if we're gonna see that, by the way, we'll create a 30-minute divergence, okay? Usually you will, if this is still gonna behave like a bear market as it is, even though it's not one, I wanna be clear about that, you will most likely see a 30-minute move like this that gets that 2 hour nice and high, almost going positive for a moment, and then it just rolls back down and gets some kind of spike. And then you see that 2 hour kind of spike down. Maybe that 200 is able to be at like 550-100 or something like that by that point, because that is going to trail up a little bit, and then maybe around this level 5100 you'd get this spike up and then turn back down. But if you curl up the daily, then that's kind of a difference there, and daily momentum can take over. So I'm leaning more towards short squeeze, but I'll pay attention to the signals. I'll take his input, his opinion into consideration, and it is something to think about if we still don't have the strongest base. But I would think Nvidia is kind of telling you, hey, I have a pretty strong base here. Now, you are still a little bit far away from that center line, so we'll pay attention. What could happen then as well is if you get that strong move, maybe Nvidia does see a strong move, it backs off, and things go to lower levels while Nvidia holds up a little bit better. We kind of get trapped between a sell zone and a buy zone. That could happen. It's good to keep it in mind, but the signals in front of you right now seem like reversal in trend on the 2 hour and the 30 minute, and the 30 minutes positive. There's just paying attention to what's going on. If this is going to be a lower high and we're going to actually head lower, that would make sense, but it would be funky to come test this level and just turn right back down. If anything, you're thinking a cup with a little handle in here, and then you start to head up, right? We broke through a zone, so maybe we go retest that zone and then we head to the upside. Oh, banks are definitely going to be, I think that's the whole reason the market's kind of just being held up, is because if banks experience trouble, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm just gonna say, like, if banks experience trouble with how much they are kind of underwater right now, it's like over 500 billion. It might be worth, shoot, I don't even know at this point, plus our debt. It's just like, pretty much banks get in trouble, the whole derivative market is in trouble. We're just gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it a little bit here. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna eat some snackage. I got a little QQQ board. Charcuterie board and a protein smoothie. That's what I got for me today. Who wants some? Yeah, so I guess I'm disagreeing. Just reading Diana's comment a little bit. I'm just slightly disagreeing with, I guess, Ron Walker here. I think there's more potential for a squeeze than there is for the dip down, but I'm still aware of the dip down. And I think that's the best way to be right now. Because I'm pretty sure I watched his videos. He's very much so like me and talking about positive trends and things like that. So I've watched his videos before. So but I don't know that he pays attention to, does anyone know? Does he pay attention to 30-minute charts? I don't think he does. He's probably like, I think he's like a classic hourly type guy. Okay. He seems like an hourly, daily, weekly kind of guy. Ron Walker. He thinks we need to make a stronger base, which would make sense if the 2 hour needs a divergence for this buy. That would make sense. You don't have a 2 hour divergence, but you do have a higher low. That's the only problem. Higher low on the 30-minute. But who's to say you're not going to see a big reaction tomorrow and then it's all given up over the weekend with something and then we turn back up, right? 510. 510, I think, will be where that that daily 200 is at that point. I want to see a late big sell-off on Tuesday. I think if you're going to sell off, I would say Tuesday or with the FOMC next week. And I promise you, if you're hearing baby screaming, I promise you she's happy. Okay? She just woke up from a nap. She's got a lot of energy, and sometimes she just can't control it, and she just screams. You guys with kids know. She just sometimes looks at her toy and screams at it. Like, I love my toy! Oh, late big sell-off like Tuesday. Well, you just have different signals from Tuesday, but you could see profit taking. But for the most part, you're seeing daily look like it, or the dollar looking like it wants to curl down, right? You're seeing the PCC go up again. It is up again. More puts, more puts, more puts. Yeah, so you're not seeing the same signals as right over here. Now you could see this, like you're talking about Tuesday, you could see that at the end of the day to kind of fake people out. But that never crossed over on the MACD. Yeah, a lot of puts coming in. We're at a 1.15 now, and we've remained there all day, which means all day, right? Every minute you're seeing puts be added into the market, so it's a cook-up recipe. It's a recipe for the squee. What are those meme stocks doing? They're trying their hardest, man. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, no. What if next week? What if we do get a big bounce on Friday? And then next week, sorry for talking with food in my mouth, but and then next week, AMC just goes like that. Closes above the 200, crossing on the MACD on a Monday. No, I'm just sitting on it this time, Onda. A lot of the time I'm taking profit. It's just when there's potential for a short squeeze, I want to hold a couple things longer. So I took 3 trades. I sell one to make sure I make money. And then the other 2 are just riding. But if I see things turn over, I'm probably going to manage the trades. Or I'll probably just manage one, keep the other in case there's a short squeeze. Because that could just be profit taking. Oh, did I type something wrong in my title or something? Bruce, chill, dude. Why am I looking at a daily bar? It's the last hour. That's just silly of me. Now, this could be a 5-minute pullback. Let's look at that. Ooh, ooh. Where was that last time we sold off at the end of the day? So does this already? Do we see this type of thing happening towards the end of the day? Not really. We'll see if it continues, but you saw like one. We want to see if that continues, but sorry, hiccups. See SPY giving the 5-minute divergence here. Very flat though, so that means more likely to be a pullback here, right? More likely to be a 30-minute, a 15-minute pullback, right? Even though we see the divergence points, it's a 5-minute chart and it's very flat. Even though this is down, the RSI very flat, so that could just be a pullback coming. We'll see. Anything can happen if this 30-minute crosses over, though. 30-minute crosses over, hey, bad things. I don't think you have enough steam unless you see something very dramatic in the last 30 minutes here. I don't think you can cross over this MACD, so I don't think I'll have to manage much. Yeah, over one is, yeah, so PCC, sorry, I was reading some stuff, but PCC over one is more puts than calls. One would be just as many puts and calls. Anything below one is more calls than puts. But since the market is overall most of the time bullish, usually it does kind of remain down in this area. You'll notice it remains at 0.8, 0.7, 0.8, pretty much 0.8. So you want to pay attention when they get overzealous with the call side, right? You get too many calls to come in. You get a 0.6, you get a 0.5, you get a 0.7 sometimes. But pretty much over 0.8, or pretty much anything at 0.8 to 0.7 is still pretty normal. But once you get below 0.8, you start to go, okay, people are starting to get a little excited for the call side. Maybe we experience a pullback or something like that, because that's just how it works. But you can see times where it spikes down there and it just keeps going up because people try to get puts. Like we spike down like this for calls, and what happens? Well, we come up and puts come in really quick, and then maybe it squeezes a little more. That can happen. Bruce, are you sad? Bruce is sad because he's not allowed to go upstairs right now. Joe Rogan, king of charts trading project, 15-minute. Nothing has changed. I told you I expect the SP to rally to test the 50 EMA green line. Could cloud and oh, it's gonna. He has clouds on. Okay, fill the gap or higher on hourly. I mean, you're testing the 50, but you've already gotten multiple tests of the 50, and you can't break down, right? If we weren't able to break down, well, then what if that reacts back up? Because you've already gotten 2 tests of the 50. So, I mean, unless third time's the charm, right? Third time's the charm, maybe this thing does roll over, or he's probably looking at hourly. Maybe this hourly does roll over, but as you reject and you start to make higher lows, that's something to think about. Now we'll look at the daily for the SPY. So he thinks the 50 up here. Now that would make some sense, like, right? That's kind of what I'm talking about. This area, okay, so without even knowing what he's talking about, this is our little box of the area where we really broke down from, right? So that means maybe he thinks we're going to fill this gap, see that 2 hour get close to that center line, and then cross down. The only problem is if you see like 3 days of positivity like this, you might cross up and get daily momentum with you. A little bit less likely, I would say, to see that if you get this big price action up, maybe you get like a 2-hour pullback and head up, but I think it's less likely. If this thing crosses, then you're just saying, hey, swing trade to the upside, test the high, go test a new one. So I don't know if making it all the way up here would be the move, actually, because I'm just looking at this and you think like 2 days of positivity, boom, boom. Unless you do it in one day or something, like Monday, you go react to it. We have a weekly range or something like that there and you wick out. That would make some sense. So we'll just look into it. We don't want to try to read the future. We just want to try to think of what to look for. What you're going to look for is if the 2 hour sees that strong move, you want to see if it rejects, see if it rolls over. That's going to be our indication that, hey, we might need to make a stronger base. But yeah, everyone is trying to, even more so. Look at that. Now at 1.169. So we were at 1.15. Now we're at 1.169. Everyone buying puts. It seems. That is rejecting. Daily's starting to roll. If that happens, if that confirms too, you might just keep squeezing. So we'll see. I think tomorrow will tell a lot. But I would really say that if this thing can just go like this tomorrow, if it can close up towards that 50, I'm really leaning towards still the potential squeeze. But we'll still look at the signal, see if there's weakness in the move. You always want to assume like, hey, I could make a stronger base. How could I create that? Until you have the strongest base. The strongest base is daily, 2 hour, 30 minute. Then you would say, hey, if that base fails, then we're in for some turmoil, right? But those bases rarely fail. Just go look at Apple and look for daily divergences, like triple divergence. If you fail a triple divergence, like you're going down. Apple has triple divergence and it just skyrockets every time. Let me look over at Tesla. Tesla is just a little bit closer to rolling into negative territory than something like Nvidia. It's just a little bit more spaced out. Whoa. Bitcoin might do it. 10% move for Palantir. Whoa. Oh, you got divergence up here. A little bit careful there with Palantir, but where's that weekly range for Palantir? It's got to be there by now. We do have weekly ranges for Palantir. You're outside of the weekly range going into Friday here, so pullback could be necessary for tomorrow. Yeah, interesting signal there. No, I'm not gonna. No, that'd be crazy. I don't want to take something when there's potential for a short squeeze. That's like kind of the opposite of what I want to do. Puts rising more, 1.17. It's not a guarantee, guys. If this rolls over, that's still a bad thing. Just because the PCC is high does not mean stocks have to go up, right? Kyle just had a small heart attack. Am I supposed to eat all of this? Usually she eats more than this. Guess I'm supposed to eat all this. Or I will. Pradeep, thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry my mouth is full of food. I feel bad, but dead hungry. Oof, Apple. Oh no. That is not the best look from Apple though. Watch the price just sit there the rest of the day. Yeah, as far as Nvidia goes, you're just seeing this could still be. I mean, if you kind of take this out, this still is a lower low technically, right? So low, lower closing low, high, lower high. You still can rotate down. I just think that's slightly less likely this time around. But if it does, I'm gonna react, like, you know. Wow. More puts, huh? Interesting. Man. Man, thank God. It's a good thing me Kevin was telling us we were gonna crash right here. Wonder what he's saying today. I'm not gonna tell you what he's saying. I'm not gonna hate. I just think it gives me it's like comedy to me. Now we could have bank failures or something. That's true. He's right about that. Alright guys, so last night, collapse warning. Collapse warning last night. But he's not necessarily off. If bank failures do happen, like say tomorrow, hey, this could just roll over, it could be done. I'm just not necessarily seeing the signals to prove that just yet. Yeah, 2 hours still bouncing here. A little bit flaggy. Touch of the 50. Little flaggy, go down towards the 200 here for sure. Interessante. Man, the IWM just so flat all day. They were like, dang it, we tried to hold it higher. Nobody bought calls. What are we going to do? You want to short squeeze it? Sure, fuck it. Is that what's going to happen here? Hey, good luck to you, Joe, just Joe. Let's go. There's that downside rolling in. Here we go. It's going to give it all up by the end of the day. Well, we'll pay attention if this thing can cross. I feel very comfortable in my positions now. I'm very glad I like just took profit on one thing. Because then it just tells me, hey, you're relatively like pretty damn safe. Yeah, you could make more if you if it actually went up. But if it comes down, you're still pretty safe. I like it. It just got interesting. Russia legalizing Bitcoin and mining. And Joe, yeah, I don't dislike Ron Walker at all. I think he has a point, but I think it's good to pay attention to both sides and read what's happening now. I just think if we get that moment, the 2 hour might have some more steam left in it to get to a rejection area like 538, 540. The pitiest of corns to you, my good sir. Bitcoin, you stop it. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good bar there. I don't think he has bad points. I don't laugh at him. Some. Do I think he's the most helpful guy to watch? Probably not, but I think macro scale, he's not bad. One thing I don't like about some people is they change their drawings around too much. So, me with this big channel here, right? I've never changed that, but some people will change it. This right here, I'm not going to change this to fit to where these points are touching. I'm just going to leave my assessment at B right there and not be like, oh, this line is going to be the magical place where everything drops. I'm more like looking at the signals, looking at the trend around that, but we know trend lines get violated all the damn time. That's one thing I'm a little critical of. You should only move it if it like makes way more sense. Made me have to get a snack. Get snacks, guys. We're in for the last about 20 minutes here. So we got 20 minutes left. Just enough time. You got about 4 minutes to go get a snack and then join us for the last 20 minutes. How does IWM look, Paradise? I actually got out of my IWM play just in case something bad happens. I don't think that this is overall the worst thing in the world for IWM, but I'd like it to get closing above this high. So I just took profit on this to make that money. That way I can have calls and other things and just like have some cash on the side. So like overall creating creating a series of 3 trades, which can, by selling one, I can pretty much be breaking even, and then those other trades are pretty much house money. So from here, I just want to pay attention to this. I think IWM, I just don't really like the overall structure going on. I think you're still flagging. There is potential to still drop, even though I think there's a short squeeze. So IWM could suffer from that. I just think this could curl over, but it's not to say, you know, that's to make you guys make a decision. There's no real technical indication here of why I'm doing that. This has not crossed over yet. I'm just doing it because it's smart for my positions, not necessarily because I think this is very, very bearish. No, not necessarily. Now, you do have some flagging going on in some way. It's probably not going to be perfect, but you do have it. Maybe take that wick, maybe get rid of the wick, whatever. It's pretty controlled. Not the best flag in the world, but it is controlled. You would have potential for some structure in here if you start to break this level. So something like that. I can literally find a way to talk negatively about a stock. I can. But right now, all I'm seeing is, hey, slightly higher low, very close to positive territory. Now we're in a positive trend. This is the beginning times, and if I just convince myself that every time I see this, it's going to be bearish in some way and I sell everything, well, then I'm going to miss out on some moves because this is a positive trend now. It's above the center line on the RSI. The only time I'll think about managing is if that actually crosses down. But just for my decisions with how I want to strategically play a short squeeze, if it's going to happen, now I get to play the short squeeze with pretty much house money. Well, maybe take it. The SPY and the Qs, I thought some kind of big move could happen, like a bigger move. Like a really big move, because small caps. The reason I was doing it was because the 10-year came off so much, but small caps actually suffered. So I was like, hey, SPY Qs, they look like they could bounce tomorrow, but if IWM could catch a good bounce, I think that one would be bigger. And it didn't really get the bigger one, but I made enough money to pretty much break even with my trade and leave the other trades in just to be like, okay, cool, now I play with money that I can risk and pretty much playing with house money. So overall, though, I thought that with the yields coming down dramatically and IWM not benefiting from that, we could see an opposite reaction today, see something like 214, 212, I mean, something up in this area, but that didn't end up happening. It's all astrology, man, and I'm a Leo, and this is August. It's the last month of the Leo, and like I'm gonna make so much money because I'm a Leo. Weirdly enough, I saw a frog in my dream last night. Do you guys know what that means? You see a frog in your dream? It means luck, wealth, and well-being or something like that. I was like, damn. I'm about to buy a frog. Paulina asks for ACMR. ACMR. Whoa! That's a big move. You got 30-minute divergence here. Be a little cautious with that. We gotta look at bigger time frames. No real reversal. Oh, this is in earnings. Okay, guys. If it's anything with earnings, like even if it's continuing, mainly you're just looking for little curl overs, right? Yeah, just looking for curl overs. So pretty much what I'd be looking for after earnings is a 30-minute pullback and a 30-minute go up. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's great technicals here. You do have a divergence on the RSI, so a pullback is likely, but you seem to be flagging a little bit. Maybe you make another push higher. $888. Short Fridays is in the chat. Any thoughts on why MSOS jumped to 742 for some reason today? I was busy and just saw on the chart MSOS. Let's go take a look at that. Advisor shares trust, advisor share pure US Cannabis. Okay, Cannabis. Well, you would say one thing on the 30-minute scale. You do have this simple cross up. It went positive. When it goes positive, it kind of remained at that center line, but then the big move happened. Nothing really to tell about this one here besides the fact that it has a massive divergence. Okay, so if this does confirm up, right, you can get through this, break above it, you just gain a bunch of liquidity in here and you head higher if that crosses up. But you may need to make some stronger base in here, right? We could still turn down. But that's kind of looking like the same algorithm as the market almost, right? This type of feel on the 2 hour. So we'll see. Right now you have a low, a higher low. See if that trend can just continue on the 30-minute. That's really what I would look into. I don't know why it went up though. 30-minute hasn't rolled over yet, and we got 18 minutes left. Yeah, it could just be, you know, a lot of investors, a lot of retail people know this. They wait till the end of the day, see what stocks look like, and then make a decision. There's some people that only trade that way. They will sit and wait all day and then just look in the last 30, 45 minutes and be like, oh, okay, cool. Meh, baby poop. Yeah, just don't be frustrated. At least you're making some profit. It's always a good thing. This can still bounce higher, but it just looks like the market, like look at this. This. They all look the frickin' same. They really do. They all look the same on the technical side right now, so. At least on the 2 hour chart. Oh, prosciutto. Let's go. Socks? Yeah, I'm wearing them. I'm just kidding, Joe. You don't want to hear about my socks. Guess what color my socks are, though? If I don't glass. Is this going to look like the market too? Just a little bit more dramatic on the dip? Yeah, okay. So this pretty much looks like Nvidia. You have divergence down here for the 30-minute all the way across. Bam. Well, pretty much a triple divergence with that low over here. Okay. So divergence down here at the low. We're trying to break through this W, right? We're trying to break through. 2 hour has turned up, I assume. Seeing if that can break to the upside. Rejection there for the downside. So we're just seeing if this can fully go positive. That's all we're doing. I don't know exactly. Usually a lot of them just do the SEC filing, and then I think that information comes out within 2 to 4 weeks, I want to say. Does someone have the right things on that? Anyone know more about that? Might have to look it up for you. Hey, Nvidia call. I'm up 50%. Oh, what the hell? Did I do a different position? Damn it. I swear I had the 105 call. Okay, that's why Nvidia wasn't making too much sense to me. All right, let's go to the SPY. Let's go to the SPY. We're gonna look at a 1 minute chart. This is the only time you'll ever see me look at a 1 minute chart. Let's go. Let's look at it. Let's have fun. All right, we're zoomed in. See if anything crazy happens. We got 14 minutes. Oh my gosh, it's going down. Oh my gosh, it's going back up. Holy crap, it's going up. Oh no. Oh no, it's giving it up. It's fading. Yo, 1 minute charts are friggin' stressful. I invest in pre-earnings due to the Monday crash drop, but I'm thinking of holding as I like the fundamentals. Okay. And the future prospects, cleaning and packaging solutions for semiconductors. Hey, that's a cool company. I like that. That's pretty cool. Holy shit, it's going up. Oh, wait, hold on. It's staying steady. Indecision. Indecision. I don't know how people do it on 1 minute. Like, I get it, but it just seems so stressful. Inverted head and shoulders. Okay, so we're going like this. This. All right, grab liquidity in here. After making a reaction up, grab liquidity. Oh my god, we gapped. Holy crap, we gapped down. Oh my god. Oh no. Alright, I'm goofing off too much. Wonder if the Qs just look like exactly the same. Kind of. Kinda. I'm sorry, SoundHound reports after hours? This guy? No, not crypto. There we go. Oh, crap. We've got earnings, and we've got a swing trade trying to signal it right now. Oh, no. Is this going to be the reason Nvidia has those signals? Is this going to be the reason? Is SoundHound going to say something insanely bullish? Who knows? All I know is I won't be trading this right now, even though it's a great signal. Screw it. Let's look at how much it is. Fun account, where are ya? Come here. Get over here. Who the heck is... Oh god, is that my wife? Hold on. Oh, it's my brother. We're good. Yo. Yeah, oh gosh, guys. How high has this gone before? Like crap. Like $8. No, it's not worth it. I can't do that. That's just crazy. No. I'm not gonna take an option because of a swing trade. But that is a good signal for the stock. Hey, daily scale, starting to see all the signals of a swing trade. 1, 2, and waiting on 3. Yeah, I mean for scalping and things like that. VIX at the 24.5, likely generated by signal. So added a few more SQQQ. Alrighty. See how that goes. Alrighty. But yeah, daily swing trade here is what mainly is being seen before the earnings. Someone talking about the VIX. I mean, it is more elevated. Actually, here's what I want to do. You. And you. Usually technicals like that, flagging and stuff on the VIX, a little bit skeptical. Because it's not a price, it's a reading. But yeah, if you think volatility is going to come in, hi, you guys do you. I'm not going to take a volatility play today. No gracias. No gracias. Jesus, how much cheese am I supposed to eat here? This is a lot of freaking cheese. I should go grab my camera just to show you guys this cheese right now. Alright, I'm done with this. You just run a little bit of a risk here with volatility. If this daily just turns over, it's a big sign for short squeeze. Maybe, Yonda, maybe. Sorry about crunching into the mic, my bad. I'm done eating, sorry. Now you just might hear me picking my teeth because everything's stuck in my molars right now. I hate when that happens. I'm gonna try really hard to have perfect aim today at the range. I'll have to, maybe I'll keep my my target. Show you guys how terrible I am. I'm a stormtrooper, let's be real. The computers are still holding up price on VIX derivatives call options, so we'll add there. Stick in with SQQQ and individual plays for tomorrow, since puts are all so cheap with 1 day left. That's true. Wait. I don't have irons. I want to get flip up irons. So the AR I got didn't have any sights on it whatsoever. So I just bought a red dot, and I have astigmatism, so red dot helps me out. But for my carry gun, I just want to learn mainly just to use the iron sights. But the Glock iron sights are like plastic. They're not very good. Might have to replace those. I don't really want to have a dot on it because I'm freaking, you know, I'm a appendix carrying. No, my first, wait, are you saying, what are you asking here? DPMS? That's a brand? Is that a manufacturer brand? AMC is back above 5. No, mine's a Radical Firearms. Oh, okay, Kyle. I kind of thought so. I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw that while researching, but I don't know if it's any, you know, I'm not a gun guy. I'm just getting into it. Right, I'm just getting into it, but I bought a Radical Firearms AR. I think it's a 16-inch barrel, actually. Yeah, I just got the Hollow Sun red dot. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. Moves you would make in options expiring tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I would not do an option for tomorrow. I think that you still have the invitation to drop down, right? If this just crossed down in the morning. We've seen some gaps, right? We're seeing these crazy gaps that fade, gaps that bounce, then we turn back down, we gap up, we go up, then we tear down, then we gap up, we tear down. So it's just, I don't want to get caught in too big of a gap or anything like that in one day. So my positions right now are my positions right now are 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away from expiring. So if this did want to do this and then curl back up, I mean, one of mine is Nvidia. So if this did want to do this and turn back up, okay, I can scale into the position and not be hurt too much by that. Did you trade VIX before the SPY drop last Sunday night? I have to look at it. Because this one here, no, actually. So this is where, if you recall, this is actually where I took profit. So this is where I took profit in this area. Remember, I took it kind of close to the open. So I took profit and then that actually curled up. So I thought I made a good decision. Then it gapped down. So I made 400% on Friday. On Monday, I could have made 4,000%. That's why I was bummed. Anything important in reports? Yes, there are some important reports. We have PPI. Okay, PPI on Tuesday of next week. We also have CPI next week on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we get retail sales. And then on Friday, wait, didn't we have, when's the FOMC minutes? I thought that was next week. Oh, okay, FOMC minutes is until the next Wednesday. And then on Friday, you will get building permits, housing starts, and Michigan consumer sentiment. So you get more data next week, and next week will be PPI, CPI. Lacasaurus, yeah, I'll get those. I have to wait till the close and wait till the options, the implied volatility settles down, kind of the market fully closes in order to calculate that. But I will be putting that out in a YouTube video on today, actually tonight. But I'm just gonna spend some time with my wife. We're gonna drop the baby off and have some fun for a bit after this. And I'm going to put out a YouTube. I'll even give it for Microsoft, Google. Google, that is a bad sign right there, just saying. Netflix, we don't necessarily do, but AMC, GME will get you those as well. And we also, did I just delete GME? God darn it. I hate myself sometimes. There we go. Back to normal. And then Palantir as well, which might be important as you do have divergence here. Yeah, the only thing kind of worrying me about tomorrow is like, you see AMC and GME seeing some good pops here, seeing some potential, right? Curling up on 2 hours, curling up on 2 hours. And I'm just like, oh God, I look at GME and I'm like, that thing could cross, but then I look at AMC and I'm like, that thing could cross right now, dude. So it's like, if that's gonna happen, the market could still be in trouble. But maybe they wait until the weekend. That's why you play every week. Yeah, I take profit very quickly. I look for the first like pullback signal, and then I just take profit on that move, maybe leave a couple of runners, but I'll make money in that move. Most of the time I just get completely out, but when I see short squeeze signals, I'm like, yeah, let me hold on to that for a second. But yeah, you are pretty right. I mean, time really eats away at you. You know, little pullbacks that happen for a full day can really eat at you. So I'm more so just trying to make money in the move, and when it hits an amount that I go, ooh, I like that amount, then I take it. And usually that's anywhere from, sometimes it's 50%, but most of the time it's anywhere from 100 to 200%. So when I wake up and I see 400% from my volatility trade last Friday, I was like, hell yeah. Then I woke up on Monday and I was like, I could have made 4,000% today. Is it bad for the market if GME and AMC squeeze? It depends on what kind of squeeze. It kind of depends. If it's just a gamma squeeze, then not necessarily. But if the gamma squeeze goes high enough and leads into the shorts having to cover, then yes, because their collateral will be at risk. Their collateral are stocks that make up the SPY and the Qs. In order to borrow shares, this is their collateral. To short the stock, they borrow shares. Sessions. But a lot of people get that confused, and that doesn't have to happen all the time, first of all. But the other thing is, a lot of people get that confused and think like, oh, if that means we have to start to reverse. You don't have to reverse. You can just get an indecision day from that, right? It doesn't mean you have to see some kind of dramatic down day in the SPY. It more means like, hey, you could see a reach down like this and then end like this, right? You see some kind of wick down here. You still end negative, but it's just barely below the close of last time, and then boom. SPY, why are you going up all of a sudden? Why is this happening? Anybody got some news for me? Oh, go 10x. Any way you're going to go 10x is if you play weekly options on Thursday and Friday. Oh, you mean like for a big win. So you play like a Thursday, Friday time? Interesting. I like it. Looking over at these, this kind of gave us a little bit of a hint before it happened, as that 2 hour did cross up right here. Early on, it was crossed up. That told you that this was already confirming while the market was lagging behind that with the 30-minute chart, but I like 2 hours for the futures. It'll tell you a lot. And I'm not seeing like really any negativity in this whatsoever. I'm just seeing a higher low that needs to go make a higher high, higher than this point, at least make the first one, then maybe dip down and retest. Industries are yeah, pretty much indices are testing these levels right now. And see, small caps, I really thought you'd see the reaction there. But Bitcoin, just doing that consolidation, move up, consolidate, move up. So if you look at Bitcoin, it has a similar look to it, right? We built up, we got the spike down, then we go right back up. Awesome. Okay. But Bitcoin is seeing more of a reaction than I would say the market is at this point. Big move up, spike down, now we're heading up, right? But Bitcoin's doing this right now. The SPY needs some time to catch up. Nostradamus is holding some Nvidia calls saying, let's effing go. Hey, I'm there with you, bud. I've got some Nvidia calls as well. I actually re-looked at that. I thought I had 105 for some reason. But I think just because I was taking 3 weeks out, almost a month, kind of getting the in-between of 2 weeks and 3 weeks, I was like, yeah, let's do 110. If this is going to be a short squeeze, maybe we could just boom past that. That'd be awesome. Got to see what happens tomorrow, but I just wanted to say this. Thank you guys so much for joining the closing stream. I really do appreciate it. It's awesome. I think it's a lot of fun. We weren't able to curl over, so right now the most possible, like probable thing is still to head up from here, I believe, as that PCC remaining a bit high. Now, we're going to talk about stocks here in a little bit towards about 3.5 hours from now. I will be putting out a YouTube video. So who was it that was asking for the ranges? Lacasaurus. Not too often, but usually when you find a base, by the way, when you see those consecutive 2% upside moves happen, yeah, that's most likely when you have formed the base and you're seeing a slight V shape after that point. Once people really start to pile in, that can start to happen. So for the most part, though, guys, I will be back on later today to give you guys a YouTube video. So I'm just going to take a moment during my little break time for this next 3 hours and make sure to sit down and look at these charts and see what I think is the most important for the stocks that we do cover at this point. So let's just pay attention to that. Keep your heads on a swivel. Always trading like water. We're not out of the woods yet. In order to see some kind of short squeeze, we still got to break through some key levels. Okay, we got to break through this level we're at right here, but we consolidated a lot right here. So maybe we're just going to have enough steam to pump through in the morning. Maybe we see some kind of gap up. We'll pay attention to it. We'll have daily expected moves over on Patreon. If you guys want to join the Patreon, that's awesome. I think that'd be fantastic because you can get those daily expected moves every single Friday for all the stocks that we cover. But thank you guys so much. I wish you nothing but luck on your future trades, and I'll see you guys later for my YouTube video. And I just hope you guys have a good night. Go get some good food, go work out, have a little break, and then come back and we'll watch some watch the YouTube video with me. I might try something different tonight, by the way. Might try something a little different. I might do something a little different with the video. So make sure to have those notifications on because I might have the video go live and kind of like watch the video and see what people are commenting and that kind of thing. We'll see. We'll see if I have time for that.